Good day, I'm Ben Seymour of Kudzu Patch Productions, and I have another instrument to show you today. This is one I just finished restoring. This is a Creed Russell Dulcimer. From the shape of it and everything, it looks a lot like a Sam Russell. And Creed Russell, I've been told, was his nephew. So, it doesn't surprise me too much that this may have been a Russell Dulcimer. So anyhow, it was built in 1931, says the label on the inside. It has some interesting stuff on the label. It's kind of letters that are backwards and that type of thing. But anyhow, and I had to take the top off of this because the top had disconnected and stuff like that. And there was written on the back, it also said Creed Russell, and then somebody like Julia Parker. And so maybe Creed Russell made this for Julia Parker. I don't know. But anyhow, so very interesting stuff. There's some unusual things about this for 1931. It was set up for 4 equidistant strings. It had 4 original pegs. And then there's another slot where it could be double strings, and then for the lead strings and stuff like that. Except those may have been added later. It's hard to tell on the nut and the saddle. The staple frets also, it's a little unusual, they go almost all the way across. But where that little double string was, it will not quite hit those staple frets. It's just right on the edge of them. So I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. But hard to tell. It wasn't like a new cut. So it'd been there for many, many years. But anyhow, this is the original nut and saddle, and there were 2 pegs missing, so I had to make 2 brand new pegs for it here. So did that. That was kind of an adventure. But also another interesting thing about this one, the fretboard is hollowed out. It has that extended kind of extended D tailpiece thing there. That's not too unusual. But also, the F holes here, they're angled down on the inside edges. And there's a little brace in there that made these angle down and stuff like that. So they were made to do that. And I think that was probably from looking at a violin, because the F holes on a violin are not perfectly straight. They're often curved and shaped to facilitate sound transmission on a violin. Particular sounds are affected that way. I don't think it does anything with this, but that's interesting that they paid attention to do that to it. So there's a little shamrock painted up here on either side. There's some weird things on the label on the inside, like 2 trees on either side, a little skull and crossbones, a snake that runs underneath the trees, and so it's very curious. But anyhow, so this is it. I didn't change the scale. I didn't do anything different to it. This is restoration back to just make it playable. It did have some strings on it. I have no idea how old the strings were, but they were your traditional like banjo strings, 18, 10, 10. So anyhow, so I upped it just a little bit. I put 22 and 11s on here. But this is it. And it's got what they'd say, that arthentic sound, I guess, to it. But anyhow, I'll bring you a little tune here. If you don't sing it, you can tell the scale's pretty bad. So I'll sing one verse of it here. This is a little Rosewood Casket. There's a little rosewood casket standing on a marble stand, with a packet of love letters written by my true love's hand. So there you go. There it is. And of course, something like Little Liza Jane. 1931 Creed Russell Dulcimer. Pretty interesting little thing. And like I said, had to just do some repairs and everything to it. And also there was something rattling around on the inside, so you could tell this had been stored for a while because the things that rattled around on the inside, once I took the top off, were two dirt dauber nests. So that had been built in there and then fallen loose. So that's not unusual for something that's been stored in an attic or in a shed or something like that. It also has 3 feet on the back, so it's meant to be set and played on a table and stuff. But it's a really nicely made instrument. And also it has the fretboard's a little wider than normal and a little bit higher than a lot of them. So very interesting critter. I was glad I had the chance to restore this. So anyhow, if you have any repairs, restorations, or if you want a custom instrument, if you need something made, feel free to contact us. And you can always find us at www.kudzupatch.net. Thanks a lot for listening, and hope you enjoyed that. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.